before, but we have the training questions channel for you to post a question, and then we'll leave probably a couple minutes at the end for him to address any questions that you have. And I think we should be good. So I'll let Stana take the floor, and Mike, if you want to potentially start recording here in a couple seconds, then I think we should be good to go.
Okay. I'm gonna give you a few pointers in the beginning just so you can understand what I'm looking for.
Sure.
Basically, we are doing Lalo hits, as you know. Preferably donut Lalo, like with the Skeli and invisibility, instead of queen charge. A Sui Lalo is a bit more compact, which I'm not gonna go into. But anyway, you're looking to take out the big threats in the base, which are probably multi-scatter shots, town hall, and such. You also need to have a plan for the CC. And with the Skeli donut, it would be the best that you actually count the tiles when dropping the invisibility, so you don't fuck them up. Can I ask
hold
someone
on,
to
hold
post?
on one second. It's on the story. Bounty Hunter, can you mute your microphone, please? Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, but I don't want that echo noise for you.
Also, it's pretty much a very nice experience to have.
Okay. Oh, there we go. Okay, you're good. Sorry.
Good. Would someone post the base, like whichever of the five someone posted?
Yep, I'll post mine right now for you.
Okay.
Does it matter which one of the ones that I sent?
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Okay, cool.
Right. Okay. So this is a classic box space, right? Legend styled. The idea with box spaces isn't usually a Skeli donut unless you have great value. So on this base, you could probably Skeli donut the CC and the town and multi. Problem is there's two heroes, so you can fuck up the timing, which is sometimes hard. Queen charging into this base would be okay because for one, there's no single behind the town hall, so you won't have major problems with dealing with the CC, and you can take the single out early on, and you can also lower the CC with the hog maybe, or just doing your king for the scatter and the queen, whichever. So on this base, I would probably start the queen at 7 o'clock, make a little funnel at 8, just so she goes right, take care of the air defense, and then you can wall break her into the scatter compartment, like where the wizard tower is. And the next wall break would go for the queen's sweeper comp, which gets you access to the town hall and the multi. Looking at the base, I would probably either flame flinger the single in front of the town hall, or just slammer later on and do the Lalo from 9, because one, it's behind the sweeper, and two, the RC is nearby, so you can easily tome the headhunters. The problem that remains is the eagle on the far side. So you can use your king for the funnel for the queen and reinforce it with the RC, so they get the eagle with maybe one invisibility if needed. Okay. Do I just go live, or?
Yeah, I think if you can hit, then yeah, if you want to do that, then you should be okay. I have a clan castle troops in there, so.
Okay, safe. That's fine. I don't need a lot of funneling on the base, just because the queen can funnel herself in pretty much. The basic composition for the spells is 3 rages, 3 freezes, and a haste and invisibility, just because they work the best together. But I mean, you can always use a jump or even a more freeze or another rage, depends really. 300 headhunter should be enough. A hound you always need, couple minions. Good, okay, I'm gonna use a baby And 2 archers, and then the rest is good. I'm just going to fill with the right. So there's probably Teslas here, which I don't know, obviously. So I would do a test, of course. Pull the Skellies to my queen. Make sure the healers are out of range of the air defense. Do 2 loons here. And then, well, from now on, it's just about funneling your queen in and making sure she goes the right way. There might be a SAM by the air defense, so I would rather just go colon it. I'm gonna do a flinger, just because the slammer won't pot because of the Teslas. One tip I can give you is you can usually use the poison pretty early because the queen underage takes out a hunt very easily. So you don't have to waste time on the pops when they pop. Headhunter for the king. My healers are in range, that means I should freeze. And then, seeing as the flame thing got a lot of value and it's going to continue to do so, I'm going to Lalo from the eagle side. Dome the headhunters in. Yeah, that's basically it. So, Queen Charge Lalo is usually a strategy you plan for, like preferably every single detail. But if, for example, like this, the Tesla's pop, you have to maybe be able to figure out what to do next, like reverse your plan. So as I did with the Flame Flinger, and then I started Lalo from the eagle side, just because the Flame Flinger was gonna get nothing if I started the Lalo where it was. And the main part of the queen shot is basically looking at your queen shot, right? Not using too many spells, but at the same time using enough so that she doesn't die and gets what you need. Is the other FC another base, or is it just a random one?
I'll put this one up. I think this one's Skeli donutable. I'm guessing. That way we can cover that as well. If not, but
I mean, you could scale it down at it because obviously you can get a lot of value on either of the defenses with the CC. The problem on the ring bases is you have a lot of huts in the middle by the CC, which maybe makes you fail the attack, depends.
Okay.
And the problem is the town hall is in the core, so you I wouldn't usually allow the town hall on ring bases unless you absolutely need to. So the Sui getting to the town hall is a bit risky, especially with all the ground bows in the base. So I would much rather go for a charge on this one just because of those points.
Okay.
So what I'm looking at is I would start the queen at 6, walk her into the air defense. You don't lose the healer, preferably. Do 2 loons on the mortar at like 5:30, and then do a blimp behind. So you get out the multi, the sweeper, maybe 2. I don't know, whatever. I wouldn't rage the blimp just because that's a spell less and you don't get much other than the multi, and you don't really need much other than the multi. So my queen would go up towards 9 o'clock. You would wall break her in twice, like first on the outer mortar and then on the bomb tower cannon. So she can go later on through the core where the multi and the scatter are with the queen. The king would suit as a funnel from 9. It gets the air defense so the healers don't die. And you can reinforce it with the RC for the eagle if you have enough. And then what I'm looking at is if the right sweeper stays up, I would probably Lalo from 4 o'clock, just because it's easier behind the sweeper. And there is like a multi with the RC at the back end, but I don't think it should matter because your queen is going to get much more in the core. Okay, that's basically it. You don't need a lot of funnel for the queen as well, because she can funnel herself in. Chicken. Take an extra wall breaker just if one fails. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Right, so as I said, the queen is gonna funnel herself in, so you just need to make sure that she doesn't go to the right side. So drop her here, 2 loons, and a blimp behind. Pop it sooner, just so the arch tower behind it, the multi goes down as well with the blimp pop. Add the healers. If you need to, you can freeze the headhunters like I need to now. The CC pole is nice, obviously, which helps a lot. One thing I would recommend is maybe not using a minion for the pops at all times. Like you can use it now if you want to, but maybe not if you're charging like outside of the town hall, because it may go for the town hall and activate it, which wouldn't be very nice for your healers. So the wall breaker is gonna go here. Another column, so you don't lose your healers. Looking at this, there's a minute con already, so I can rage her for the time being because I haven't used a single spell on her yet. Wizard, they'll funnel her in. We could use the BK. 9. Gonna start the Lalo. The minion archer there. Freeze to the headhunters. Rage, because they don't really need the rage for the queen anymore. And just make sure that the rest of the defenses go down. Could you give me the FC of the base, like the anti-3 out of those 5?
Yep, I can do that. There we go. Oh, of course, gotta load my game real quick.
That's okay. That's okay.
All right. Let's do this one. Let me know if that works.
Yeah, that should be fine.
Okay.
I didn't necessarily mean that one, but it's okay. Right. So as you can see, there's a multi and a CC that you can take out with the Skeli donut. Also, you could go for the scatter, but I think it isn't really that necessary because the multis are a bigger threat because they're in the core and surrounded by huts and sweepers. Town Hall is pretty easily taken out. You can maybe do a safe blimp on it just to take it out with super goblins, but it really depends what you want to get out of your heroes. I would probably do the safe blimp now, but for the sake of your CCs and gems, I won't. So I'm just gonna funnel the queen in to get the Town Hall. Get the hut as well, maybe 2. I wouldn't wall break her anymore for the single because the single really doesn't matter on a hit where you Lalo. And then the question is, where would you use your other heroes, like for example the king or the RC? A scatter would be probably a safe bet. The problem is there's a hero, couple point defenses, and 2 expos behind it. So you can maybe use it for the eagle, but it isn't really what you want to do. So I'd rather go for the scatter as well. Also, one thing to note with doing the Skeli donut is you can use bats as well for the defenses. The problem is, for me personally, I don't really use bats that much because you can easily miss visibility on them. So it isn't really the greatest option you have. There's 3 huts in the core. With a rage, you could maybe get away with 1 Skeli on the CC and 1 on the multi, but I would be safe and use 2 on the CC just because it has more HP. Funneling should be pretty easy, I think. You can funnel the queen basically herself in unless you need to take out the mortar or 2, but I think 1 only. And then you can do an archer, for example, at 6 because the arch tower is in range. So your heroes go in for the scatter. I'm gonna use 2 hounds. And then a golem, a couple headhunters, and Valk for the skellies as well on the Sui. And that's about it, pretty much. You can also use sometimes a Skelly on a Sui if needed. You could probably get away with it here. Yes. You need 2 priests. Right. So I usually drop my Skellies first, then the invisibility, and then you can rage after, just because it's easier. So the rage doesn't run out, and you can really easily get the invisibilities where you want them. You still have an invisibility for the Sui, so you can use it on the RC maybe if needed, take out an extra defense, which I'm probably gonna do just for the sake of those expos when the pathing for the Lalo. So I'll pop the ability. Maybe I will actually it's okay. Right, so in this position you would south to Lalo from the eagle side, obviously because there's an eagle there, and you're going behind the sweeper. Choose a slammer. You don't need to slammer immediately. Take the loans and the core. Raise the cannon so that my headhunters survive. Rage, they didn't. But it should be okay still. Like you saw, the headhunters weren't the best because they obviously died. And the queen took out quite a few loans, but it should still triple and be enough. Do you have the other anti-3 base?
Yep. I'll put that right now.
Okay.
I think it's this one, right? Let me know if it's not that one. This
Yes,
one.
exactly.
Okay.
So, on this base, you could Skeli donut the core, like the core multi with CC. Problem is there's like the invisibility to drop it is a bit scarier just because you can easily miss it, and invisibility either the CC or the multi. And you could go for the second multi like by the town hall, which I won't do because I would much rather go for the single with the Skellies and the CC because you can have your queen take out the town hall from the left side and not worry about the single then. And you can easily double break into the multi for your king with your RC coming in from 3 o'clock to get the scatter as well. So what you necessarily get is the whole side of the base pretty much. Yes, there's a multi with sweeper in the core, but I think the Lalo is just too strong that it wouldn't really matter if it stayed up. So what I would do here is you need minimal funnel here by the army camp. So like an archer would do it probably, yes. Drop the queen at 6 to go left. With the giant should be enough, and if the Teslas pop, then I have a Valk as well, or invisibility to tank. The king would be dropped right from the queen with an ice golem, or maybe a golem because there's a ground expo by the multi. So you get enough tanking for the king, which you can then double wall break here this junction, and then the multi one. Super goblins are an easy funnel here. I think you only need one for the pump because the king is gonna go for these two defenses, and then for the wizard tower and the multi, and then you will just drop your RC on 3. Uh, oh. Else, you don't really need those. For the siege, you could flame flinger a compartment. The problem is it really doesn't do much because you have to level through it anyway. Right here. I would do like this. Yeah, that's okay. So the Slimer doesn't have a direct pathing into the core, but once I get this expo with my RC, it should. That means I can drop the Slimer like this and then start Lalo from the eagle side. Then on behind because it's gonna go above the eagle and get the traps that are there. You can haste. Here's the scatter. Haste again. 4 headhunters coming in with the Warden Tome. That's pretty much it. Do you want me to go through key things of a Sui, like the Suicide Heroes?
You can. I know we're at the 30-minute mark, so I want to be respectful of your time as well.
That's okay. That's okay.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna take the last hit as an example, because obviously there's an open town hall compartment, so you really didn't need wall breakers for your queen, and she can funnel herself in, which is nice for you. The queen doesn't usually need tanking because you have a unicorn, so on the lower town halls you would just adapt with a bit of tanking, or I don't know, maybe funnel the defenses that are outside. It really depends on the base. The King Sui was nice because there's like 3 defenses lined up where you can double wall break and the king still goes in for the multi. I added the RC on the mortar right side and not on the arch tower in case my king doesn't behave and goes out, so that he wouldn't and he really goes for the multi. I would recommend using an invisibility on town 14 and 13 for your queen if needed. I really didn't need it here, but usually you sometimes need it, so it really depends. And other than that, the key to the Lalo part is basically looking at the pathing, right? So right now, I had a free slammer job for the multi in the core, which made Lalo pathing just be in one straight line, so you can easily stack up hounds one after another. So they soak up all the traps before the looms arrive there. The headhunters, you can, like, I had 4 headhunters. I could have easily dropped them behind the warden, taken out the king, and then tomed the warden so that headhunters go to the queen. The problem is there may be springs by the eagle, so I decided to wait and then drop them after so they take out the queen. And that's pretty much it. There's no really big secrets or anything. Just need to know like what the base looks like and what are the options of you to take out as much as you can and have the best pathing for the Lalo. Are there any questions?
Let me check the channel real quick. Anyone have any questions? I don't see anything in the channel quite yet, but I'll give anyone a minute. If not, then I think we should be okay. If anyone's got questions, feel free to type them in. Going once, going twice. Okay, I don't see anyone typing, so I'm just gonna assume. Oh wait, Menace is typing. Got something. Oh, no questions. All right, then we should be good. She said thank you. So.
Thank you.
All right, I think we're good then. Appreciate the time, Stana. It's very much appreciated, and I'll be sure to let Clash. I'll be sure to let Clash Construct know that he used 3-starred all my bases, so he owes me 4 free bases. So, so yeah, I'll arrange that with him. But no, all seriousness, appreciate the time for sure. So
that's no problem. I appreciate the time as well.
All right, cool. Thanks again, and I think everyone we should be good to start a journey here. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.